This 6-step strategy made extreme demons way easier, and with it, I beat ACU in 6 days. And tip 4 made extreme demons feel simple. Here's how you can beat extreme demons faster and more consistently. Step number 1 of this strategy is to no-clip your level until you're semi-consistent with it. I'll grab an ACU no-clip. And you want to make sure your no-clip has the decoration, so this one has the decoration. And I'll play it while being on the layout. And you should be on the lookout for parts you think that are going to be hard, and memory parts. The point of this tip is to get familiar with the level. So if you're like this and we're not on the layout, you can beat it and restart. This tip is what most top players do before they do an extreme demon. When you're following along, you want to do it 3 to 5 times, or until you feel like you're semi-consistent with the layout. Again, you're on the lookout for choke points, like for example this one right here. When you do it the last time, you should now be more familiar with the level. If a level has no clip like precipitants for example, then instead it's pretty obvious what you can do is you can just go to the extreme demon, copy the level, go inside and just hit ignore damage right here. But again, this does make it so that if you fail, it won't get you back where you at. So obviously here, I'm just going to go up. And now this tip brings us into the second step, which is getting a copyable of your level and using death limits. This is one of the strategies where you may want to do per day. This time I'll get a bloodbath copyable and I'll go inside it. And you want to use your preferred mod menu. I like to use Eclipse because it looks just like Mega Hack. So you want to turn no clip on and then death limit. Now, since I don't know what extreme demon you're doing, I can't give an exact death limit number. You're going to want to start at 25. And now we can try to beat our level. And with the no clip, you now know where the gameplay is. And now you just want to try to beat it. And like I said, I'd beat ACU in 6 days. But with this strategy, you guys can beat extreme demons way more faster than me. Almost done here. So I died. So if you die, I'm going to increase it. I'm going to try 28. And the idea here is you want to find the sweet spot till when you can beat it on death limits. And if you keep dying a lot, you can definitely restart. Now I beat it. And for me, I found that 38 was my sweet spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it down by 2 and then beat it again. So I beat it again. And my deaths were 31 this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to something like 30. And if you drastically decreased your deaths, like for example 40 to 29, what you would do is you want to set it a little bit higher than your record. So if it was 29, it would probably be 31. And keep doing this until you feel like you reached your limit and that you've gone semi-consistent with your level. And that brings us to the third tip. And that is to do levels front to back and doing each part for around 100 to 300 attempts. I'm going to choose Bloodbath again. And you guys are probably already doing this tip. But a mistake I see is that they don't grab a start pose with as many start positions as you probably want it to be. This one by a position switch, going here, it has around 10 positions. But then this one with F Prisma has 36. So obviously you probably want to do the 36 one instead. Beat each position 2 to 3 times. And this is your more simple generic tip, but it's really effective and that's why I'm including it in this video. So each position should be beaten 2 to 3 times. After that, you want to move one position, beat this 2 to 3 times. And some of these positions may seem useless, like this one of Bloodbath is a good example, it's just this duel. But this will give you that deep bulk practice that I like to see. And beat that 2 times, want to go back 1. And each position should take around 100 to 300 attempts. And I just did that, so I'm going to go back, beat this. And this is one of the more longer tips, so a tip with this tip is doing this strategy over the course of maybe a couple days. Do 16 positions one day, do 16 the other, and each session should be around 1 to 4 hours long. So once you get pretty far back in your level like this, I mean 40% or so, you want to just bulk practice some of your choke points that you've encountered. For example, one of mine was right here. And bulk practice each one of your choke points. And once you get to around 40%, you're not going to be beating it as much as you would at a higher percentage. So what I like to do is beat each position from here once instead. And in my opinion, I think it's a waste of time to do it from something like, 7 to 100. I'd stop at your current best. So like, 25% or so. Your best should be 25 to 100. Now, when you're done with this tip, you should know what your choke points are. And step 4 is speed hacking choke points to make them easier and more consistent. So I'm going to go back to my Bloodbath start pose. And you want to find your last choke point from the end. And you top players watching might say this tip is kind of useless. It makes you even worse at your level. And to check if it does make you worse, you want to start at 0.7 and try to see if your level's easier. Now with this part, it's a little weird, especially since it's shipped. Now what those sneaky top players don't tell you is that with Speedhack, it's easier to learn click patterns to make your choke point easier. So for example, boom, 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 boom. And now that's click pattern. And now I'll go up to 0.8 and do that click pattern a little faster. Boom, 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 boom. Did that. Go up to 0.9. Boom, 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 boom. Did that pretty fast. And now just turn off Speedhack. And now you just got a click pattern that you can easily do to make your choke point easier. And what I forgot to mention is when you're doing 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, ideally each 0.1 for about 100 attempts. So do 0.700 attempts, 0.800 attempts, 0.900 attempts, and then 100 attempts. So I'm gonna move on to my next choke point, and I'm gonna do 0.7 for 100 attempts. And again, learning click pattern, so boom, 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 boom. Going to 0.8. And then 0.9. And then turning off Speedhack. And that's how you make choke points easier. Tip 5, or the second to last tip, is to use the Practice Checkpoint Permanence mod. And let me show you the way you're going to use this. This is the mod right here. So once you've installed the mod, you're going to scroll down and set the keybinds and create checkpoint C, remove checkpoint V, or some other keybind you like. Once you've done this, you want to go to your Extreme Demon and go into practice mode. And make sure auto checkpoints are off here, auto checkpoints. And I actually had them on, so I'm just going to restart. So I'm going to turn on practice mode. And then with C, I'll create permanent checkpoints. So if you're using like a SIO device or something like that, it's going to be a little hard to do. So you want to do it in between parts like this. I just place it one right there. Do this part. And then do something like here. And you get the picture. In each game mode switch. But I don't find that strategy that good, so what I like to do is place bits of checkpoints like this. So now I'm just going to exit this level. So if I rejoin and then hit practice mode, you'll see these checkpoints right here. But just exit out of your level and go to your Practice Checkpoint Permanence mod. And find the keybinds for a previous checkpoint and next checkpoint. Some out of Shift D and Shift Q, which I think are pretty good. And now you've placed your own permanent checkpoints that you can practice every day. Now for the sake of time, I won't place checkpoints in the whole level, but you definitely should. And once you've done that, explicitly not try to beat your point. Now you go to your last checkpoint and do it for around 20-30 attempts. And the reason such low attempt count is because we placed bits of checkpoints, so it's like super close apart. And if we did like 50 to 100, that would just be a waste of attempts. And be sure to comment down below what's the fastest time you beat an Extreme Demon. I already got my record, but I'll use this strategy more to be Extreme Demons, possibly even quicker. And I designed the strategy specifically for levels above 680 on the Riddle or the All-Rated Extreme Demons list, but it can really work for any Extreme Demon. So once you've gotten to the end, you should have a bunch of bulk practice, and you're probably really good at your level. And if you want to delete checkpoints, we have options here, so I'm just going to delete this, I'm going to delete that. And you can also have different layers, I'm not going to get into that. If you want to see another video on this whole mod, be sure to let me know down below in the comments. So that's Practice Checkpoint Permanence. This final step is by far the most effective and will make Extreme so much easier. Getting your level down in 6, 5, 3, and 2 runs. Now let me show you how this works. I'm going to get a Cataclysm start pose for this. And you want to divide your level. So I'm going to do 70, and then 51, 35, and then 18. So that's 4 divisions. I'm going to go to my first division and beat it from here. So I beat it. I'm going to go to my second division, which was right here, and beat it. After that, I'm going to go to my third one, right here. Now my last division, right here, and try beating it from here. After you've done that, you want to do one less division. So what I think I'll do, I'll just remove this part. So again, I'll try to beat it from here. Then go all the way here and beat it. And I forgot to mention one thing. You're going to beat it you're not gonna beat it. You're actually gonna go until you hit that next start position. So if yours was here, you're gonna go all the way here and see if you can make it from here. Again, only if you're zonky you can beat it. So after you've done all that, you want to try dividing it into 2 runs. Now you want to find the closest to 50%. So mine is right here, 51%. So I'm gonna beat it from here. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to here, go to Cataclysm, and then try to get to 51% from 0. And after you've done this tip, you now have your level 2 runs. And when you're done with this strategy, you're now ready to beat your level. And after done all that, you want to go to sleep, aka the sleep off method. It's probably the best tip on this list. If you made it this far, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.